There is cautiousness among the consumer, particularly in the US market, that's the second largest single market for H&M. So clearly seeing that caution coming into the consumer. And we did see that in the results where we saw a bit of softness and weaker than expected sales in the second quarter. Although they did flag something of an uptick in June sales, which potentially indicates maybe a little bit of a return in demand in those summer months, which is interesting because we did have Zara owner Inditex flagging just earlier this month that they had seen a slow start to the summer. So a bit of a contrast between those two companies there, and of course big rivals with Inditex largely outperforming.
That said, as they've pointed to higher sales in the month of June, is that going to come at a cost? Because I saw some messaging around markdowns, so greater discounting, but also the fact that the currency conversion means it's costing them more to bring the product in. So margins are going to be compressed?
Yeah, that could very much be the case, and certainly they flagged that these the stronger US dollar had an impact, as well as the higher freight costs, so that is likely to have an impact going forward. Also interesting that we didn't get very much colour so far on the impact of tariffs, particularly in this US market. Of course, it's heavily dependent on production in the likes of China and Bangladesh. So no colour yet. We'll be listening out to the earnings call coming up to see if we get any more insight there as well.
Karen, the pricing in this sector is unbelievably erratic. M&S, which I think is fair to say in the UK, all right, it's a UK offering by and large, has had a fantastic couple of years. I mean, cyber issues is dreadful. It's had a couple of brilliant years on the fashion front. Every single one of you might pop in there now where you wouldn't have been seen dead in there 5 years ago.
True.
Trades at 12 times forward. Inditex, you mentioned there, trades at 21 times forward. Always trades at a premium sector. Hennes trades at 17 times forward. There is a lot of opportunity to, I was going to use a market phrase, I have to be a bit more careful, to lose a lot of money in this sector as well. How does the pricing look from what you've been hearing from people? 21, 17, 12 times.
Yeah, it's a difficult one, and I think this is something that H&M has really struggled with as they've seen the kind of rise of some of these even lower cost retailers like Shein and Temu. That's something that's really hit H&M. But something that's interesting, as we see now a little bit of hardship coming for the likes of Shein and Temu as they face the closure of the de minimis loophole, is that their prices will now come under pressure, and it will be potentially unsustainable for them to continue at these really low costs. And that could be something of a benefit for the likes of H&M, who are maybe able to regain share in that lower end of the market. And of course, it's not only H&M that is under this umbrella. We've also got slightly higher end brands like COS and Arket, so they've still got something of diversification there.